Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to analyze persuasive writing, and you're going to do that by using this rubric. I'm going to ask you to use the rubric by hand and not on the Chromebook, but I think it's easier for me to show you on the Chromebook. So if you look at it here, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a 1 through 5 scale. And 5 is something that's always done, 1 is never done, 3 is sometimes done. So then obviously 4 is a little more than that, 2 is not quite never, but not quite sometimes either. So then the things are pretty self-explanatory. The writing is persuasive, not just informational. Thesis statement or stance is clear. The beginning starts the text off clearly. The ending brings it to a natural close. The author gives more than one reason for believing as he or she does. The writer has clear and convincing evidence for their reasons. The writing is organized in a way that makes sense to the reader. The writing has clear and effective transitions between ideas. The tone and voice of the text is appropriate for the intended audience. The piece is edited to the best of the student's ability. Then there's two things I want you to write. What did you notice about the organization? 2, what is part of the writing that you think is strong? So then I'm going to show you one of the examples from the debates of the week earlier in the year, and I'll just read it to you quickly. Should gum be allowed in school? I think that we should chew gum in school. First, many kids are already sneaking gum and they are stressed about their teachers catching them. And they focus on hiding the gum, not their work. I predict that if they were allowed to chew gum, that they would chew away and be able to focus on their work. Further, one day when Devin was chewing gum, he wasn't wandering around or searching for some random picture on the internet. He was looking for a good picture for his story. He was focusing on his work better when he was chewing gum than without it, from what I could see. Why gum? Well, gum burns off calories and gives your face a workout without all that chewing. With all that chewing. Sometimes kids have energy and they can burn the energy off by being active while sitting still. But why not something like a stress ball? Gum is more recognized, and if a stress ball was used, the people who were stressed out about being caught would still be stressed and unfocused. That's why gum instead of something else. My last reason is that studies show that students who were provided with gum before a test had a 3% increase than the ones who weren't. If that always happens, students all over the country may grow brighter with just a little stick of chewy relief. The kids who are stressed out will be happier and be able to focus and maybe get a better grade than before. Or maybe they will just be able to focus better. Or nothing but a weight taken off them that pulled them down. Please take the stressed students' happiness into account before making the final rule. That is all I have to say. Thanks for reading this, and see if all my fellow students persuaded you as well. Even if you say no, remember I work put in to tell you why students should chew gum in school. Okay, so that was a great essay. Now I go up here and I use the rubric. The writing is persuasive, not just informational. I think so. There's facts, there's opinions, so I'm going to give that a 5. Thesis statement is, or stance is clear. I think it's definitely clear. I'm giving that a 5. I think it's always done. Like, if you go here, it starts clearly. I think we should chew gum in school. And then it even explains how that kids are chewing it anyway, and they're focused on hiding it, not their work. It's very clear why. Okay? beginning starts the text off clearly. The ending brings it to a natural close. Well, I think the introduction gives very clear reasons. It starts with a little story, so that's beautiful. The conclusion, it does bring it to a close, but it's kind of mixed in with a reason. Um, so it feels a little unnatural to me. I'm going to go ahead and say it's pretty much always done, but you know, it could be a little more convincing here. The author gives more than one reason for believing as he or she does. Absolutely. The writer has clear and convincing evidence for their reasons. Well, they definitely give some evidence. But some of it isn't always clear to me, like gum burns off calories. How does the author know that? This stress ball thing I think could be really effective, but I get a little confused by it. And again, I like this 3% increase, but how do they know that? Did they just make it up? So if I go back to the rubric, it does have convincing evidence, but there's parts that kind of don't quite get me there, so I'm going to put 3 sometimes. The writing is organized in a way that makes sense to the reader. I think it's pretty organized. My one gripe is I wish part of this feels like a conclusion, part of this feels like a reason. Here, is this a subheading? Then why aren't there other subheadings? So it's pretty organized, but I feel like it could be cleaned up a little bit. So I'm going to go 4. The writing has clear and effective transitions between ideas. My last reason, well, yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'll probably go 4 most of the time. The tone and the voice of the text is appropriate for the intended audience. Well, I feel the audience is me, and felt appropriate, like kind of informal, kind of formal. That makes sense. I'll give it a 5. The piece is edited to the best of the student's ability. Well, they have punctuation, capital letters. I didn't notice any spelling words, a mix of short and long sentences, so I'm going to go ahead and give that 5. I believe so. And then, what did you notice about the organization? The piece had an intro and then 2 body paragraphs. They usually started with evidence and then explained it. Okay? You're going to notice as you read these, there's all kinds of structures. What is a part of the writing you think is strong? Well, I think their arguments backing up the evidence is really convincing. Okay, so this is what you do, and I took so long on this because the more of these you read and truly analyze, the better you are going to be prepared when you write your own stuff. You're going to get all kinds of ideas, you're going to consider your organization. So really taking your time with these and being thoughtful about what works and what doesn't work is going to make you a better reader. All right, thank you.